All right, Mohammed here from More Realty. With me here is Mudo from Mudo Mortgages. So we want to do a little episode here about what happened with CBC Marketplace, explaining the fraudulent mortgages that are happening in the industry. Now, for folks that don't know, essentially CBC went in undercover and went after real estate agents and mortgage brokers who are promoting this fraudulent activity of making fake documents and preparing, job letters, T4s, and everything to help qualify people who otherwise would not qualify. Now, Mudo here is going to cover some of, what things to look out for, some red flags, and give you some advice here on what to look for before jumping into this.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. So basically, without going into too much detail about the video, we do have the link below. Feel free to watch that. But basically, what I do want to address is the person who's getting the short end of this deal, which is essentially the home borrower themselves, right? So basically what happens is when you do get into this type of situation, you are paying a cost for this. So the person involved will ask for a 1%, a 2% fee, in addition to additional fees just to get this done in a quote unquote creative way, right? So most of the time what I see happening is, even if it does, like if the deal does go through, some things happen last minute, right? Like you end up having to pay, for instance, an extra $5,000 for correcting a mistake, or things that you're just not ready for, and obviously this is a financial burden on you. And another unfortunate thing is the deal itself might not go through in the end, and you have to go to a private lender. Now, a private lender is a perfectly legal lender. There's no illegal issues about that. However, the thing is, the interest rate is pretty hefty. So you have first mortgages nowadays closer to like 10%, and then second mortgages like 14%, and a third mortgage. So you are paying all these fees, and it's all interest. It's not paying down your principal. And also it's usually a 1 or 2 year loan, right? So, and usually when people get into these private lenders, there has to be an exit strategy. And usually that strategy is like, unfortunately, is I'm gonna sell the home if something happens and I'm not able to afford it, right? But in these markets, especially these days, you're finding home prices are actually going down. So even selling the home, you will come up short for the mortgage that you have, and you have to come out of pocket. So they're all financial burdens, and obviously they will, stress the family, stress the home buyer, the home borrower. You're buying a home so you can actually enjoy it, right? But in the end, you end up, just thinking about the financial aspect and the burden every day, which is not, the right way to do things. So if you don't qualify for a mortgage, it doesn't mean you have to go that way. There are always other ways for you to qualify. So for instance, you might be a foreign income borrower, like you have foreign income. We have lenders that accept foreign income, right? It doesn't always mean that you don't qualify. Or in the end, if you don't qualify, you've tried all means, it might be a wise decision just to wait, right? Just until you get your situation in check. Maybe it's credit, maybe it's down payment, whatever it is, just work on it. And when you're ready to buy, you can comfortably buy a home and actually enjoy your home because you can comfortably afford it.
Yeah, thank you for that coverage there. And for us both being in the industry, we do hear a lot of horror stories, right? People that have decided to work with other mortgage brokers, and because at the end of the day, they thought that they're going to get much better affordability there, that they offered them some amazing deal. And unfortunately, we hear the horror stories afterwards, either during the time of closing. We start hearing frantic buyers saying, oh my goodness, we got screwed. This person is unable to get us this A lender that they promised. This rate is completely different. What can we do? What can we do? And a lot of times, if you've already committed and it's like the 11th hour, it's really hard to back out of the deals at this stage. So please, even if you're working with somebody else, agent, mortgage specialist, it doesn't matter. Feel free to reach out to us or anybody that you know in the industry to get a secondary advice from, just to understand, if you're taking all the precautions that you need to take well before. Okay. And one thing I wanted to touch on is, if your regular local bank or your mortgage broker is giving you affordability that what your upper limit pre-approved amount is, and you hear some other mortgage broker giving you a number that just doesn't make sense, then really question that. Don't just jump on it, right? Typically, it's whatever your income is times maybe 4, maximum 5%, 5 times, which means, if you're making 80,000, expect to get maybe 400,000. If you're hearing numbers that just don't make sense, question that. Don't jump on it, right? If you have any questions, feel free to DM us or comment below. And thank you for watching.